This is speech number 2, and I guess it's titled Football. All right, who here has ever had their upperclassmen either say they're weak or not mentally tough enough to be here? Hands up. All right, that's probably a majority of us. So that's pretty much my upperclassmen's exact attitude towards me. But that's because they don't know me from my high school years. When in high school, I played football, and for a lot of my classmates who know me, most people know I lack 2 things. A, I'm a really goofy person, so I lack like locking it on or whatever, and that's what a lot of people think of me. And I can do my push-ups, but I'm not swole, I'm not huge, I'm not muscular, whatever. And so from the outside, I might look like I wouldn't be a good football player, or I wouldn't be able to participate in the team. And that's kind of what my coach thought about me going into junior year. After being new to the team sophomore year of high school, I didn't really take it seriously enough and was kind of just goofing off during practice all sophomore year. So come junior year, the team brought in a new senior he was a 1-year senior to take my position, and I didn't get pretty much any playing time junior year. The entire year, I worked my butt off trying to get more playing time, and every game the coach said, keep bringing that attitude, keep trying, and you'll get more playing time as the season progresses. But then good news happened for our team, but bad news happened for me. We had a chance to go to the New England Championship if we won out, and so that meant that all that promised playing time I'd get kind of got thrown to the wayside because the team needed to win. We couldn't put a novice player in when we had what I believe ended up being a D1 commit at my position. So we ended up actually losing that game, and we got to the New England Championship, but we lost it. And so at the end of the year, my coach asked whether I'd work out over the summer and get in and actually try next year, and I told him I would. So I did, and I was able to channel that emotion into becoming a better football player. And by senior year, I was not only a better football player, but I also brought the attitude to a game every single game. I guess I was picked on a little bit growing up, so I always had this anger inside of me that I learned how to channel through football, and it's also something that I guess here, if you can channel that in the right way towards your goals, it helps you out. But senior year, I brought the A game, but my team never really melded together. So we ended up going 1-6. Pretty bad senior year. Not what you're looking for in your last year of football. And we had one last game. It was on Veterans Day, and we're there in the locker room, and I think it's halftime. I think we're already down by 40-something points, just getting the absolute shit kicked out of us. And pretty much everybody's just been joking around all game. The sophomores start joking in the middle of the locker room in front of everybody else, and pretty much all our faces are sullen. We're all sitting there. What do we put in all this effort this whole season for to end it like this? And just everybody's really depressed. And I'm just sitting there brooding. I'm pissed off. I want to win this game, and I never leave a field without kicking someone's ass. So what happened was, so earlier in the season, to give an example of that, our team would always kick an onside kick, every kick. It was just a signature thing we did, and we'd usually get a few back. So there was one game where we ended up losing 22-24. It was one of the closest games of the season that we lost. Normally we got our ass kicked. And during that game, we were kicking an onside kick, and I was on the far right side of the field, and we were kicking it to the left. But you can still hit anybody you want if they're in front of you and they're going towards the ball. So I ended up sending someone off the field in a stretcher by knocking them over because I just plowed through him, even though it wasn't really part of the play. But what that did was the next time he came up, he didn't try as hard. So, so going back to the main story, we're in the locker room, losing by a lot, and because I'm able to channel that anger I had, like I mentioned earlier, I am always in the mindset to leave it all on the field, and I never feel like I've had a successful game unless I'm in physical pain when I'm walking off the field. And so we're in the locker room, and there's a D1 commit there, and he says, guys, listen up. I know we're losing by a lot, and this hasn't been the season we've all wanted, but, and he's like, I go to prep school, so he's like, and a bunch of you are prep school kids, and I understand that you can be happy and goofy and do what you want during the week, but you have to be able to turn that switch on. You have to be able to bring it when it matters. And I agreed with him, but like everybody knows he was a goofy kid, so I didn't think of anything would come to that. But then he turns to me and he goes, Spoehel has that switch. Spoehel turns it on when it comes down to the line, and that's what matters. And you guys need to have that switch, and you need to bring it every time. So, what does this have to do with being a knob? Well, when it comes down to it, you need to bring your best game, and you need to rely on your teammates. Thank you. Thank you. It was an impromptu speech. It could have been better.
An impromptu speech.
Impromptu, everybody. Yeah, can you evaluate me? I could evaluate myself.